Good to see you, Chris. What do we know about the threats that are being made?
Hello, Bev. Yeah, well, it's interesting that after the attacks in Moscow, that ISIS really are wanting to broadcast the fact that they're still around and still a threat. I think we shouldn't take this particular threat too seriously. Very easy to make threats, much more difficult to actually carry them out. But what they're trying to do is enthuse their supporters across the world to act, and that's clearly what they're trying to do here.
Yeah, because it is interesting you point out the Russia attack. It did look like the work of a small group who planned it effectively. Obviously, it was a terrible tragedy. So it's not like they've really got something potentially organised. They're just making a call to perhaps get involved.
Yeah, call to arms, effectively, for their supporters. And unfortunately, across Europe, there's an awful lot of people that do support ISIS and believe in that ideology. This call, I mean, aside from anything else, it's actually a good media job by them, isn't it? They've got themselves in the media, and of course, they're all about creating fear, and that's what they're trying to do here. But I don't think there's much concern of organised teams. As you say, it's more individuals that they want to enthuse to do something.
Yeah. How difficult is it, Chris, to contain something like that at such a big events like these massive soccer matches?
Well, big events like this go on right across the world, and over the years we've learnt about keeping them safe from terrorist attacks. Of course, Paris actually, Stade de France actually had a terrorist attack on the same day as the Bataclan, which was repelled effectively. So the security in these sort of events is much safer to go to one of these than it is to go to your local shopping centre, because of course they're open, 7 days a week. I think where you have to concern yourself is in the transport hubs and links, where, of course, individuals can go and take a knife or try and knock people over, etc. And that's exactly what ISIS here are trying to do, is to encourage those people to do that.
Yeah. Why target big soccer matches? Or is it just because it's, as you point out, a good publicity stunt?
It's a publicity stunt. It literally is. It's the fact that it's the reason we're talking about it now. If they'd said go and attack shopping centres, we wouldn't be talking about it. I think the key thing here is they know that they're struggling. They are still there. ISIS are still a threat right across the world, actually, because of the sheer numbers of people that follow their ideology. But they're struggling, and they know they have to enthuse people, remind people they're there, and to encourage others to do something.
Yeah, it's interesting. I have read that Europe has been really countering a number of these, what really are splinter groups of ISIS. Is that part of the issue with this ideology? There are many of these little groups popping up, as you point out, not just in Europe, but in other parts, particularly in Asia, Pakistan, Afghanistan.
Yeah, they all believe that we should be living under strict Islamic rule, and of course we're not going to do that. So the key thing for them is to try and create change and create mayhem across the world, and that's what they're trying to do here. Obviously, what's going on in Israel and Gaza is a bit of a precursor to encouraging people to think that they're being hard done by, and thereby create attacks. And of course, we've seen them right across the world. And I think Paris for the Olympics may be a bit concerned, because they've got quite a big problem in France. But of course, the police now are very used to dealing with this, and we should really, if we're gonna defeat terrorism, we've got to carry on business as usual and do everything that we'd want to do, and not let these people get us down.
Yeah, it's got to just be part of the process. But you're right about the Paris Games, because it's a tricky event. It's not just at the venues, it's the transportation, it's in cafes, anywhere, where people are thronging at an event like this.
Yeah, but of course, all of our cities are like that on a daily basis anyway, and every city right across the globe has big events. We've got to put our trust in the police and security services to stop these attacks from taking place. The Five Eyes intelligence system that we've got between us, the US, yourselves, New Zealand and Canada, is excellent at picking up these threats. I think the biggest concern for those security agencies is individuals that decide to get in their car or pick a knife out of the drawer and go and do something terrible. And that's what we've got to deal with, probably for a generation to come.
Yeah, really great to get your expertise on this, Chris. Thanks so much.
You're welcome, Beth.